All right, guys, so here we have 3x squared minus 8x plus 4 equals to 0, right? So this is a quadratic equation that we're going to solve for by using the quadratic formula. All right, so the first thing to make sure about is, do we have the quadratic equation? Yes. 3x squared minus 8x plus 7 equals to 0. Now, what do we know? We know the formula. X equals to what? Negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. All right? So what is a? A equals to 3. What is b? B equals to negative 8. What is c? C equals to 7. All right? Now we're going to substitute back in here. Are you with me? So x equals to what? Negative 8. Right? Then we have plus minus. So we have negative 8 to the second power minus 4 times 8, and a is 3, times c, c is 7. That will give us what? Divided by 2 times 3. So now we're going to work on this one. We're going to work under the radical. Negative and negative we know is what? Positive. So it's positive 8 plus minus square root of what? What is negative 8 to the second power? That means you multiply negative 8 by negative 8, which is positive 64, right? So positive 64. Then here we have negative 4 times 3, okay, which is 12, and 12 times 7. Or if you want to do it easier, you say 3 by 7 is 21, and 4 times 21 is going to give you what? So it's going to be minus, so 21, 4 by 1 is 4, and 4 by 2 is 8. So you have negative 84. So if you don't have the calculator, ladies and gentlemen, you always got to figure out what, the pairing that will work for you better. So now we're dividing by what? 2 by 3, which is 6. Okay? So then we have to subtract 64, from 84, and then we have the sign. So, or you say 84 minus 64, and you keep the sign of the highest number. So 84 minus 64 is 20, right? So that's 8 plus minus square root of what? Negative 20 then, right? And then divided by 6. Are we good? Right? So now we continue this way. So we have x equals to what? So what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? So we got a negative sign under the radical. What are we going to do? So now we're going to introduce the complex numbers, right? So complex numbers says what? So complex numbers, very quickly here. So complex numbers say that if you have negative 1, it is the same thing as I to the second power. And the I is the imaginary number, right? So you will see in the other videos, we expanded on this one. All right, so that you can know what we're talking about. So now, x is equal to what? So here we are. So we have 8 plus minus square root of I squared, right? And then 20. Now, is 20 a perfect square? No. Because 20, you cannot break it down just two numbers that multiply the same numbers to multiply to give you 20. However, you can break it down in two numbers where one is going to be a perfect square, the other one is not going to be a perfect square, right? So in this case, that we give you 4 times 5. That's the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, you need to know your multiplication tables, right? So that will give us what? 4 times 5 over 6. Then 8 plus minus. What is square root of 4? 2. So the 2 goes out. What is square root of I squared is I. And then you have 5 under the radical divided by 6. Okay? And then anything that we can simplify because we're dealing with fractions here? Yes. So 2 can go into all these 3 numbers evenly. So 2 can go into 8 4 times, right? 2 can go into 2 once, so you end up with I left by itself, over 2 can go into 6 3 times. So you're basically dividing everybody by 2. That's what it means, okay? And then this is what you have for x. And ladies and gentlemen, one more thing that we can do is splitting this into 2. X1 is 4 plus I square root of 5 over 3. x2, 4 minus I square root of 5 over 3. This also is either or, so this one or this one. Ladies and gentlemen, you are finished. So there's no more, going further than this one. Take your time, go step by step, remembering this formula if it's not given to you on the test, okay? If it's given on the test, great. If it's not given, you need to know it. This is the almighty quadratic formula. And then you have these, take step by step, and then you should be fine, okay?